This video covers a small two-way refrigerator in our four-wheel camper hawk shell, why we got it, how we installed it, and how we made it 24% more efficient. We wanted a small refrigerator as we usually resupply every 4 to 5 days or so, and we wanted the most efficient one we could reasonably afford. This meant a high-efficiency Danfoss compressor and a top opening unit that would not spill out the cold air every time it is opened. We didn't want propane because they are more sensitive to leveling, harder to hook up, and I think unnecessary with even a modest solar setup. This IndelB 31 quart fridge seemed to be the best compromise between small size, high efficiency, and reasonable cost. It looks like it costs $559 today in January 2023. We're very happy with the efficiency and how well this fridge operates. We average about 0.7 amps for a daily average when the room is around 72F. Every once in a while we wish it was a little bit bigger or had a freezer compartment, but you know, there are trade-offs, and we're generally pretty happy with our trade-offs. We put the fridge in the front passenger side corner after we built out the front bench, and we ran 12-volt and 120-volt AC up to a plastic junction box underneath it so that we could plug in both the 12-volt and the 120 cords that came with the fridge. The 12-volt circuit uses an open fuse slot in the Shell model fuse box that we got from the factory. And the AC comes from a 3-circuit 120-volt panel that we installed. 120 volts is nice for pre-cooling and stocking the reefer just before a trip. And the fridge automatically shifts to AC whenever it is available. Okay, this is the front passenger corner where we will install our refrigerator, and I've run 12 volt and 120 AC to this little white junction box here, and then those cables come out in the side, and these are the plugs that came with the refrigerator. I'm going to buckle it together with this, and the other attachment is this simple device, a piece of 1/8" aluminum with 2 wooden brackets, and these will go right here, and they will serve to hold the refrigerator and to space it away from the wall and prevent the camper cushions from sliding against the refrigerator and blocking the vents in the backside. Okay, that's pretty solid. Now we can slide the refrigerator back, plug it in, and we're all set to go. This setup makes it easy to remove for more bed space on the first floor when we need to sleep 3 grandkids down there. Next, we'll get into the 2 layers of insulation that we added and the test results that showed a 24% lower power consumption overall. The primary insulation layer included a 1-inch poly foam pad on a 1/4 inch cardboard that the refrigerator was shipped on as part of the packing, I believe. And I've tried to insulate it a number of ways. There's a good rubber seal, but I've added there's a 2mm gap, so I've added a little bit of foam there, which is just packing type polyethylene foam with double stick tape, and that seems to seal a little bit. Then I've got a Reflectix outer cover and about a 3/16 open cell foam inside of that. And then we've added some mesh, and it serves two functions. We store our down coats and extra blanket in there, and that adds to the insulation. And then we have another holofill quilt that we store in this bag, and it has Velcro that holds it on top so it won't slide around, and we can still use the refrigerator. And so the mesh on the top and the sides provide about 15% more insulation. We tested the efficiency in a 120 volt AC mode so that we could use a kilowatt meter to monitor the watts consumed over a 2 to 3 day test period. It was always in a room about 72 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and the fridge was loaded with water bottles and pre-cooled before testing. For these insulation tests, the fridge was set on eco mode as opposed to the max mode, with a temperature set point of plus 1 degree C, or about 34 F. At this setting, we averaged about 36 degrees F in the bottom and about 40 to 43 F in the top. Since these tests, we usually set it about 2 degrees Fahrenheit lower, giving us about 32 on the bottom and 38 to 40 on top. I've summarized the insulation testing results in this table. There are 2 different tests at different room temperatures, so each has a different base case, and you really can't compare the average watts between the tests, only within a test. In test 1, we compared the bare, uninsulated fridge with the Reflectix and foam insulated fridge that had the polyfoam base on and an upgraded seal. There was a 10.2% reduction in power consumption, meaning the compressor was on 10.2% less with the Reflectix and foam insulation. In test 2, we tested the down storage mesh insulation on top and sides and compared it to the Reflectix and foam as a new base case. We found the mesh storage added 15.4% over the Reflectix and foam case. Since the conditions are different, you can't really add up the 2% reductions, but you can account for the 10.2% reduction, then take 15.4% of that result, and you get 24% overall. That's pretty good. Our fridge consumes about 9.1 amp hours, and that is about 63% of our daily amp hour budget. So a 24% savings for the fridge is significant, and we think it's worthwhile for us. We don't mind the goofy look of the down mesh storage, but if your battery and solar setup are more capable than ours, you probably don't mind a little less efficiency in return for a cleaner look. So that's cool too. Well, I hope this has helped you think through your refrigeration plans. I should note that we also carry a small ice chest, and that gives us some flexibility also. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know of any questions.